An alien woman emerged from the trash and came toward me. The sky turned purple as night fell over the small town of Riverdale. A woman named Lucy Adams walked home from her late shift at the diner. She was tired, her feet hurt. She wanted nothing more than to take a hot shower and sleep. Lucy lived alone in a small house at the edge of town near the forest and old dump site. Most people avoided this area because of the smell, but Lucy got the house cheap. She could not afford anything else. On her waitress salary, as she walked up her driveway, Lucy noticed something strange. A blue glow came from behind her house near the trash dump area. Curious, she moved closer to look. What she saw made her freeze. An alien woman stood there. She had blue skin that seemed to glow in the darkness. Her eyes were large and completely black without any white parts. She had no hair, but her head had small ridges that looked like a crown. She wore something like silver armor that covered her tall, thin body. The alien woman turned and saw Lucy. Their eyes met. Lucy wanted to run, but her legs would not move. The alien took a step toward her, then another. Lucy noticed the alien limped. She was hurt. Lucy took a deep breath and spoke. "Hello." The alien tilted her head. She made a series of clicks and whistles that Lucy could not understand. Then she pointed to herself and said something that sounded like, "Zara, is that your name, Zara?" Lucy asked, pointing at the alien. The alien nodded. She understood. She pointed at Lucy with a three-fingered hand. Lucy said, pointing to herself. Zara looked back at the dump site, then at the sky. She made more clicking sounds and her face showed what looked like worry. Lucy realized Zara must have crashed her ship. "Did you crash?" Lucy asked, making a downward motion with her hand. Zara nodded again. She pointed up, then made a crashing motion with her hands. She was smart. She understood basic communication. Lucy thought for a moment. What should she do? Call the police. The army. They would take Zara away to some lab. She had seen enough movies to know what happened to aliens on Earth. But Zara seemed scared and hurt. Lucy made a decision. She pointed to her house. "Come with me. You can hide there." Zara seemed to understand. She followed Lucy, limping slightly. They entered the house through the back door. Lucy closed all the curtains. Then she got her first aid kit. Zara had a cut on her leg that leaked purple fluid. Lucy cleaned it as best she could. Zara winced, but stayed, still over. The next few days, Lucy and Zara developed a simple way to talk, using gestures, drawings, and repeated words. Zara learned some English and Lucy learned some of her language. Lucy learned that Zara was a scientist. Her people were called the Valori. They had been watching Earth for years. Zara had come on a solo mission to collect plant samples, but her ship had engine trouble and crashed. She needed to fix her ship, but some parts were damaged beyond repair. The Valori would not send a rescue ship. They thought Earth was too dangerous. Humans were seen as violent and unpredictable. Lucy laughed at this as she handed Zara a cup of hot chocolate, which the alien had grown to love. "I think most humans are scared of you, not the other way around." Zara made the clicking sound that Lucy now knew was laughter. Through their talks, Lucy learned the Valori were advanced in many ways. They had cured most diseases. They lived in harmony with their environment. They had mastered space travel, but they had lost something along the way. Their world had become too perfect, too controlled. Art, music, and creativity were no longer valued. Zara showed Lucy a small device that projected images of her world. It was beautiful, but sterile. Everything looked the same. One night as they sat on the porch looking at stars, Zara said in her improving English, "Your world is chaos but beautiful. You make art. You feel deeply. You fight, you love. You are unpredictable. That makes you dangerous, but also special." Lucy smiled. She had never thought of humanity that way. 2 weeks passed and Lucy helped Zara gather materials to repair her ship. They visited junkyards and electronics shops, buying odd parts that Zara could modify. Lucy was amazed at how Zara could turn Earth technology into something that would work with her advanced ship. During this time, Lucy taught Zara about human culture. They watched movies, listened to music, and Lucy even showed Zara how to cook simple meals. Zara was fascinated by human food, especially sweet things like ice cream and cookies. Their friendship grew stronger each day. Lucy had never met anyone like Zara, someone who saw the world so differently, yet understood her so well. Zara told Lucy about her life on her home planet, Valoria. She was considered strange there because she was too curious, too interested in art and beauty things. Her people had moved beyond. Lucy told Zara about her dreams of going to college someday, studying art, maybe traveling. She had been stuck in Riverdale since her parents died, leaving her with debt and few options. One morning, Lucy woke up to find Zara working on a small metal object in the living room. "What are you making?" Lucy asked. "A translator." Zara replied, "I think I can make one that will help us talk better." By midday, the device was ready. It looked like a small silver pin. Zara attached it to her collar and spoke. Her words came out in perfect English, though her lips moved differently. "Now, we can truly talk." Zara said, her voice soft and musical. Lucy was amazed. "How does it work?" "It reads my thoughts and finds the right words in your language," Zara explained. "It is not perfect, but it will help." That night they talked for hours. Zara told Lucy about the stars, about other worlds she had visited. She explained that the Valerie were part of a galactic community of advanced species, but they kept Earth isolated. They believed humans were not ready. "Why not?" Lucy asked. "We have problems, but we are not all bad." Zara nodded. "Some of us think like you, but the Council is cautious. They see your wars, your pollution, your divisions. They fear what humans might do if given advanced technology." That night after Zara went to sleep in the spare room, Lucy sat on her porch looking at the stars. She wondered how many worlds were out there. How many people like Zara watched Earth waiting for humans to grow up. The next morning, Lucy woke to the sound of a helicopter. It flew low over the forest near her house. Then another came. Zara stood at the window, her blue skin pale with fear. "They found me," she said. "They are looking for the crash site." "Who?" Lucy asked. "Your government," Zara said. "They have detection technology. They know something landed here." Lucy peeked out the window. She saw men in black uniforms moving through the trees. They carried strange equipment and guns. "We need to go," Lucy said, grabbing a backpack and stuffing clothes inside. "They will search the houses soon." "Where can we go?" Zara asked, her voice trembling. Lucy thought, "For a moment I have a friend, Mary. She has a cabin in the mountains. It's remote. No one will look there." They slipped out the back door as the men approached from the front. Keeping to the trees, they made their way to Lucy's old truck parked behind the house. The engine started with a loud rumble. Lucy drove slowly until they reached the main road. Then she sped up, heading north toward the mountains. Zara huddled in the passenger seat, her face hidden under a hooded sweatshirt Lucy had given her. Her blue skin would attract attention if anyone saw her. "Will your friend help us?" Zara asked. "Mary owes me." Lucy said, "She will help, and she knows how to keep a secret." They drove out of town. Lucy saw more black vehicles heading toward her neighborhood. She gripped the steering wheel tighter. This was no longer about helping an alien visitor. This was about protecting a friend. The mountain roads twisted and turned as Lucy drove her old truck deeper into the forest. The sun was setting, casting long shadows through the trees. Zara sat quietly watching the world pass by, her alien eyes taking in everything. Mary's cabin was hidden at the end of a dirt road surrounded by tall pines Lucy had visited a few times before when she needed to get away from town. Mary was her old high school friend who had inherited the cabin from her grandfather. Lucy parked behind the cabin. Out of sight from the road, she helped Zara out of the truck. The alien was still limping slightly from her injury. The cabin door opened and Mary stepped out. She had long red hair and wore faded jeans and a flannel shirt. Her eyes went wide when she saw Zara. "Lucy, what is going on?" Mary asked. Her voice shook. "Mary, this is Zara." Lucy said, "She needs our help." Mary stared at the blue-skinned alien for a long moment. Then she nodded and held the door open. "Come inside before someone sees you." The cabin was small but cozy. A fire burned in the stone fireplace. Mary led them to the living room and they sat down. She kept looking at Zara with wonder and fear. Zara touched the translator on her collar. "It is nice to meet you, Mary," she said. Her voice was soft and musical. "Thank you for helping us." Mary looked at Lucy with wide eyes. "She can talk." Lucy explained everything, about finding Zara at the crash site, about the government agents searching for her, about their escape. Mary listened without interrupting. When Lucy finished, Mary stood up and paced the room. "So there are men with guns looking for an alien, and you brought her to my cabin," she said. "I had nowhere else to go." Lucy replied, "You know these mountains better than anyone. You can help us hide, Mary," sighed Lucy. "Always got her into trouble even back in school. But she had never turned her back on a friend. Fine," she said. "But we need a better plan than just hiding here. They will search everywhere eventually." Zara spoke up. "I need to contact my people," she said. "But my communication device was damaged in the crash. I need parts to fix it." "What kind of parts?" Mary asked. Zara described what she needed. Some were electronic components. Others were metals and crystals not found on Earth. Mary thought for a moment. "My grandfather was a collector," she said. "He has a workshop in the basement with all kinds of old electronics. Maybe we can find something there." They spent the next few hours searching through boxes of old radios, computers, and strange devices that Mary could not name. Zara examined each item carefully, setting aside those that might be useful. While they worked, Mary asked Zara about her world, about space travel, about other aliens. Zara answered honestly, explaining that there were many inhabited worlds in the galaxy. Some were friendly, others were not. The Valerie. Her people were peaceful explorers and scientists. By midnight, they had gathered a small pile of parts that Zara thought might work. She needed tools and a workspace. Mary cleared a table in the basement and brought out her grandfather's toolbox. Zara worked through the night. Lucy and Mary took turns keeping watch. Outside the windows, the forest was dark and quiet. No signs of pursuers yet, but they knew it was only a matter of time. In the morning, Mary made breakfast. Zara ate little. Her species needed different nutrients, but she enjoyed the coffee, finding the bitter taste interesting as they ate. Lucy turned on the small radio on the kitchen counter. A news report made them all freeze. Government officials have quarantined an area near Riverdale after what they claim was a chemical spill. Residents report seeing unusual aircraft and armed personnel in the area. The public is advised to avoid the region and report any suspicious activity. They are covering it up, Mary said, turning the radio off. Lucy looked at Zara. "They know you are here. They just don't want people to panic." Zara nodded. "It is common practice on worlds where official contact has not been made," she said. "My people do the same. We hide our presence." Mary looked out the window. The sun was bright, the forest peaceful. It seemed impossible that they were in danger. "We should move deeper into the mountains." Mary suggested, "I know some old mining caves where we could hide." The signal from Zara's communicator would be harder to track from. Zara shook her head. "The mountains would block the signal." She said, "I need to be in the open, preferably high up. That makes us easy to spot." Lucy said. Mary thought for a moment. "There is the old fire lookout tower," she said. "It is the highest point around. No one uses it anymore since they put up the new one with electronic monitoring. Perfect." Lucy said. They packed what they needed. Zara gathered her makeshift communication device. Mary took food, water, and supplies. Lucy grabbed blankets and warm clothes. The nights were cold in the mountains. They left the truck hidden behind the cabin and set out on foot. The hiking trail to the lookout tower was steep and overgrown. It had not been maintained in years. Zara struggled with the difficult terrain. Her body was adapted to the lower gravity of her world, but she kept going, determined to reach the top. As they climbed higher, they could see for miles. The small town of Riverdale was visible in the distance beyond the forest. Lucy spotted black helicopters circling the area near her house. They know I am missing, she said. They will check on my friends. Mary squeezed her shoulder. They will come. Here eventually, she said. We need to hurry. The lookout tower stood on the highest peak. It was an old wooden structure with a small cabin on top and a metal ladder leading up to it. The wood was weathered and gray. Some of the steps were broken, but the tower still stood. Mary went first, testing each rung of the ladder. Lucy followed. Then Zara came last, moving carefully. They reached the cabin at the top as the sun began to set. The cabin was dusty and small, with windows on all sides that gave a view of the entire valley below. They could see the forest stretching for miles. Dark clouds gathered on the horizon. A storm was coming. Zara set up her communication device near the eastern window. She connected the parts she had gathered, making adjustments with tools from Mary's grandfather's collection. Lucy and Mary watched in fascination as the alien technology came to life. Will it work? Lucy asked. I hope so. Zara replied. But even if it does, it will take time for the message to reach my people, and more time for them to respond. How much time? Mary asked, looking nervously at the helicopters in the distance. 3 of your Earth days at least, Zara said. Maybe more. We need to stay hidden that long. Lucy said. Can we do it? Mary nodded. We have supplies. The storm will help hide us, but we need to be careful. No fires, no lights at night. As darkness fell, the storm moved in. Lightning flashed across the sky. Thunder rolled through the mountains. Rain pounded on the roof of the cabin. Zara activated her device. A soft blue light glowed in the darkness. She adjusted controls that Lucy and Mary did not understand. The blue light pulsed, then shot upward through the roof, like a beam. The message is sent. Zara said, Now we wait. They took turns keeping watch through the night. The storm raged outside, hiding them from searching eyes, but it also made the old tower creak and sway. Lucy worried it might collapse. Morning came with clearing skies. The sun rose over the mountains, casting long shadows across the valley. From their high perch, they could see movement in the forest below. People with dogs, vehicles on the roads. They are getting closer, Mary whispered. They are searching every cabin, every trail. Zara looked at her friends with sad eyes. I am sorry I brought this trouble to you, she said. Lucy shook her head. You would have done the same for me. The day passed slowly. They rationed their food and water, staying low and out of sight. From time to time, they heard helicopters passing nearby, but none came directly over the tower. Night fell again. Zara checked her communication device. The blue light still pulsed steadily. No response yet. On the second day, Mary spotted men on the trail leading to the tower. They wore black uniforms and carried equipment. They found us, she said. By late afternoon, they reached the edge of the meadow. Mary had described it was beautiful. A wide open space covered with wildflowers and tall grass surrounded by dense forest. The mountains rose in the distance, their peaks hidden in clouds. They stayed in the cover of the trees, watching a hawk circled overhead. No sign of people, no tracks, no equipment. The meadow seemed untouched. Zara checked her communication device. The green light pulsed stronger now. They are close, she said. My people are coming. How will they land without being seen? Lucy asked, looking at the open meadow. Anyone could spot a spaceship here. Zara smiled. Our ships can hide, she explained. They bend light around them. Your eyes slide past without seeing. What you cannot see, you cannot report. Mary sat on a fallen log, resting her injured ankle. It had swollen again, the skin purple and tight. I need to rest, she said. Lucy looked at the sky. The sun would set in a few hours. The rescue ship would arrive soon after dark. We wait here, she decided. We need the darkness for cover. They found a sheltered spot among the trees with a view of the meadow. Zara set up her device one last time, adjusting it to send a homing signal. Lucy shared the last of their food. Mary dozed, her face pale with exhaustion. As the sun began to set, Lucy heard a distant sound, helicopter blades chopping through the air. She signaled to the others to stay quiet, to stay hidden. A black helicopter passed overhead, circling the meadow once, twice, 3 times. Then it moved on, continuing its search pattern to the east. "They have not given up," Zara whispered. Lucy nodded. The government would not stop looking for an alien visitor. They would search every inch of the mountains if necessary. But tonight, Zara would be gone safe with her own people. Darkness fell slowly. Stars appeared one by one. The meadow turned silver in the moonlight. Zara watched the sky, her large eyes reflecting starlight. "They will come soon," she said. Her voice held both joy and sadness. Mary woke from her nap. "How will we know when they arrive?" she asked. "You will feel it," Zara said. "A pressure in your ears, a tingling on your skin. The ship's engines affect the air around them." They waited in silence. The night grew cooler. Insects chirped in the grass. An owl called from somewhere deep in the forest. Lucy felt a strange mixture of emotions. She was happy that Zara would return home safe, but sad to lose her friend. The alien had changed her life, had shown her that the universe was bigger and stranger than she had ever imagined. Suddenly, Lucy felt it, a popping in her ears as if she had climbed a mountain too quickly, a vibration in the ground beneath her feet. Zara stood up. Her blue skin glowed softly in the darkness. "They are here," she said. At first, Lucy saw nothing. The meadow looked empty. The stars shone overhead unchanged. Then the air in the center of the meadow seemed to ripple, to bend like heat waves above a hot road. The grass flattened in a circle, pushed down by an invisible force. Step by step, a ship appeared. It did not arrive, it simply became visible, as if it had been there all along. It was smaller than Lucy had expected, about the size of a small bus. Its surface was smooth and silver, with no visible windows or doors. It hovered a few feet above the ground, silent and still. Lucy gasped. She had known Zara was an alien, had seen her technology, but somehow seeing the ship made it all real. All the science fiction movies she had watched as a child paled compared to the reality before her. Zara stepped forward, her device in her hands. The ship responded. A door appeared in its side, sliding open without a sound. Light spilled out bright and golden. A ramp extended down to the grass. Zara turned to her friends. "This is goodbye," she said. Lucy felt tears in her eyes. "Will we ever see you again?" Zara took Lucy's hand. "I cannot promise," she said, "but I will try. I will tell my people about you, about how you helped me. They need to know that humans are ready, that some of you at least are kind and brave." Mary limped forward. "You could stay," she suggested. "We would help you." Hyde. Zara shook her head. "My place is with my people, but I will carry your friendship with me always." She reached into a pocket in her silver suit and pulled out 2 small crystals like the one she had used in her communication device. She gave one to Lucy and one to Mary. "What are these?" Lucy asked. "Memory crystals," Zara explained. "Hold them in your palm and think of me. And you will see what I see, hear what I hear, feel what I feel, no matter how far apart we are." Lucy closed her fingers around the crystal. It felt warm, alive somehow. "I will miss you," she said. Zara embraced her. Then Mary, a gesture she had learned from watching them. The contact felt strange but right. Zara's skin was cooler than a human's, smooth like polished stone. From the distance came the sound of helicopter blades, again growing louder. Searchlights swept the forest edge. Lucy looked up in alarm. They had been found. Zara stepped back toward the ship. "You must go," she urged. "Hide in the forest." "No," Lucy said. "I want to see you leave. I want to remember." Zara hesitated. Then from the ship emerged 2 more Valorians. They looked like Zara but taller. Their skin was a darker blue. They wore ornate silver suits with symbols Lucy did not understand. They looked at the humans with curiosity, but no fear. One of them spoke to Zara in their clicking language. She answered, pointing to Lucy and Mary, the tall Valorians, bowed their heads in what seemed like respect. The helicopter was closer now, its searchlight cutting through the trees at the far edge of the meadow. They had minutes, maybe less. Zara spoke rapidly to her companions. They nodded, then turned to Lucy and Mary. One of them held out a hand holding what looked like a small silver ball. "What is it?" Mary asked. Zara explained. "It will create confusion in their machines. Their helicopters will lose power temporarily. Their equipment will fail. It will give us time." The tall Valorian pressed the silver ball. It glowed, then shot up into the sky like a flare. It exploded silently into a shower of light that faded quickly. In the distance, the helicopter sound stuttered, then went silent. The searchlights went out. Zara took Lucy's hand one more time. "Remember me," she said. Then she turned and walked up the ramp into the ship. Her companions followed. The door slid shut seamlessly. The ship rippled, then began to fade. The air bent around it. Light twisted. The grass sprang back up as the invisible pressure lifted. In moments, the meadow was empty again. No sign remained that the ship had ever been there except for the flattened grass slowly rising. Lucy and Mary stood in silence, staring at the empty space go. Mary whispered. Somewhere high above them, beyond sight, beyond sound, Zara was flying home to her world. Her people. The crystal in Lucy's palm felt warm. She wondered if Zara was thinking of them already, sharing her memories across the stars. "Need to go," Lucy said finally. "The helicopter will start again soon. The men will come." They turned and slipped back into the forest. The night embraced them, its darkness a comfort now, not a threat. They moved carefully. Mary leaning on Lucy for support. They had a long journey ahead, back through the mountains, back to civilization. They would need to create a story to explain their disappearance. Something believable. Something that did not include aliens or spaceships as they walked. Lucy felt the crystal in her pocket. It pulsed softly like a second heartbeat. A piece of another world. A reminder that they were not alone in the universe. She smiled, despite her exhaustion, despite the danger still pursuing them. Life would never be the same. Again, she had touched the stars. Behind them, the meadow lay peaceful under the moonlight. The only witness to what had happened there. The helicopter remained silent for now, but soon the search would resume. The men in black would find nothing. No alien. No ship, no evidence. Just stories. Just memories, by dawn. Lucy and Mary had reached the road. A truck driver stopped for them, surprised to find two women deep in the mountains with no gear. He offered them a ride back to town. They accepted, grateful for the help. He asked no questions when they said they had gotten lost hiking. As they rode in the back of the truck, watching the mountains recede, Mary touched the crystal in her pocket. "Do you think she made it home?" she asked. Lucy nodded. "I think she did. And I think she will remember us." The truck carried them toward Riverdale, toward questions they could not answer. Toward a world that did not know how close it had come to first contact. Lucy looked up at the morning sky. The stars were gone, hidden by daylight, but she knew they were still there. And among them, Zara was traveling home, carrying stories of Earth, of humans, of friendship across the stars. Someday. Lucy thought someday they will come back. And when they do, we will be ready. Lucy peered through the cracked window of the lookout tower. Her heart pounded in her chest. 6 men in black uniforms climbed the trail toward them. They moved with purpose, checking equipment that blinked with small lights. "We need to leave now," Mary whispered. "They will be here in 20 minutes. Zara looked at her communication device. The blue light still pulsed. No answer from her people. She shook her head. "I cannot leave this behind," she said. "If I do, my people will not find me." Lucy thought quickly. Then she looked at Mary. "Do you remember the other trails down the mountain?" she asked. Mary nodded. "There is an old deer path on the north side. She said it is steep and dangerous, but it leads to the river." Lucy turned to Zara. You keep working on the communication device, she said. Mary and I will create a distraction, lead them away from here. No, Zara protested. It is too dangerous. We have no choice, Lucy said. If they find you, they will take you away. We will never see you again. Mary opened her backpack and took out an old flare gun. My grandfather kept this for emergencies, she explained. I can fire it from the south ridge. It will draw them away from the north trail. It was a desperate plan, but they had no other options. Mary and I will go down first. Lucy told Zara, you wait 10 minutes, then follow the north trail to the river. We will meet you at the old fishing cabin. Zara looked at her friends with her large black eyes. I will find you, she promised. Lucy and Mary gathered what they could carry. They slipped down the tower ladder and into the forest, keeping low and moving quickly. They circled around, heading south away from the approaching men. When they were half a mile away on a ridge overlooking the valley, Mary raised the flare gun and fired. A bright red light shot into the sky, trailing smoke that should get their attention, Mary said. Now run. They raced through the trees, heading east, then north, staying off the trails. Mary knew the forest well. She led Lucy through dense undergrowth, across shallow streams, around rocky outcroppings. Behind them, they heard shouts. The men had seen the flare and were changing direction. The distraction was working. Meanwhile, Zara gathered the communication device, carefully wrapping it in a blanket. She slung it over her shoulder and climbed down from the tower. Her leg still hurt, but fear gave her strength. She found the north trail just as Mary had described. It was barely visible, a thin path used by deer and other forest animals. The path was steep and treacherous. Loose rocks slid under her feet. Branches caught on her clothes. The weight of the communication device made balance difficult, but Zara kept moving. She had to reach the river to meet her friends. At the bottom of the mountain, the trail opened onto a wide riverbank. The water was clear and swift. Trees grew close to the edge, providing cover. Zara followed the river downstream as Lucy had instructed. The fishing cabin should be a mile away. Lucy and Mary ran until their lungs burned. They crossed the east ridge, then turned north, circling back toward the river. They had to reach the fishing cabin before Zara helicopters buzzed overhead. Searching trees cast long shadows across their path. The sun was setting again. Mary stumbled, her foot caught in a hidden hole. She fell with a cry of pain. Lucy helped her up, but Mary could not put weight on her ankle. It might be broken. Mary gasped. Lucy looked around frantically. They could not stop here, not with the men behind them. She helped Mary to a fallen log. Wait here, she said. I will find something to use as a crutch. No. Mary shook her head. You need to reach Zara. I will hide here. Come back for me when you can. Lucy did not want to leave her friend. But Mary was right. Zara needed help more urgently. She gave Mary her water bottle and the remaining food. Stay hidden, she said. I will come back for you. I promise. With a heavy heart, Lucy continued alone. Moving faster now, she reached the river as darkness fell. The fishing cabin was just ahead, a small wooden structure half hidden among the trees. Lucy approached cautiously. The cabin seemed empty. No lights, no movement. She called softly. Zara. A shadow moved near the door. Zara stepped out, her blue skin almost purple in the fading light. Lucy ran to her. They embraced. Where is Mary? Zara asked. Lucy explained about Mary's injury. The alien looked concerned. We must help her, Zara said. She risked herself for me. Lucy nodded. But first they needed to rest and plan. Their pursuers would not give up so easily. The cabin was small and dusty, but it offered shelter for the night. They barricaded the door and covered the windows. Zara set up her communication device again. The blue light seemed stronger now, pulsing with a steady rhythm. Is it working? Lucy asked. Yes, Zara said. The signal is reaching my ship in orbit. The automatic systems are relaying it to my home world. But the response will take time. They settled in for the night, taking turns to watch. Lucy worried about Mary alone in the forest, but going back in darkness was too dangerous. She would search at first light. Morning came with fog hanging over the river. Zara checked her device. A new light pulsed alongside the blue one. This one was green. They received my message. Zara said, excitement in her voice. They are sending a rescue ship. When Lucy asked, Zara thought for a moment. 2 of your Earth days, she said. They are coming from a research base on your moon. They have been observing your world in secret. Lucy was shocked. The moon, she whispered. There are aliens on the moon, just a small research team, Zara explained. We study Earth from a distance. Lucy shook her head, trying to process this new information. Then she remembered Mary. We need to find her. She said she could not have gone far. They gathered their few belongings and set out following the river back toward the mountain. The fog provided cover but made it difficult to see. They moved slowly, watching for signs of pursuit. Lucy called softly. For Mary, every few minutes they searched the area where she had left her friend, but found nothing except disturbed leaves and a broken branch. She must have moved. Mary would not stay in one place if she thought it was dangerous. Lucy said, worry, in her voice. They widened their search, moving in circles away from the spot. Hours passed with no sign of Mary. The forest was quiet, too quiet. No birds sang. No animals moved in the underbrush. It is as if everything is hiding, Zara whispered. A twig snapped nearby. They froze. Lucy turned slowly. A man in a black uniform stood 20 feet away, pointing a gun at them. Don't move, he said into a radio. I found them, both targets. Sector 7. Lucy grabbed Zara's hand. Run, she yelled. They ran, crashing through undergrowth, sliding down slopes, splashing through streams. The man followed, calling for backup. Lucy knew these woods, but so did the men hunting them. She heard more voices behind them. The net was closing. Then ahead through the trees, Lucy saw a welcome sight, Mary limping toward them using a branch as a crutch. This way, Mary called, waving them toward a steep ravine. They followed. Mary led them to what looked like a solid rock wall. But when they got closer, Lucy saw it was the entrance to a cave hidden by hanging vines. My grandfather showed me this, Mary explained. It was used by bootleggers during Prohibition. The cave was dark and damp, but it went deep into the mountain. They moved carefully away from the entrance until they could no longer see daylight. Lucy had a small flashlight in her pocket. It cast weak shadows on the stone walls. Will they find us here? Zara asked. Not if we go deep enough. Mary said the cave system runs for miles under the mountain. They made their way deeper. The main tunnel branched into smaller ones. They took the largest, staying together. Mary limped but kept moving. Her ankle was swollen but not broken. After what seemed like hours, they reached a large cavern. Water dripped from the ceiling, forming a small pool. A few bats hung from the rocks above. We should be safe here, Mary said, resting on a flat stone. No one knows these caves except locals, and most of them think they are haunted. Zara set up her communication device again. The green light pulsed alongside the blue one. Both seemed weaker. The signal is having trouble penetrating the rock, Zara said with concern. I need to be outside when the rescue ship arrives, or they will not find me. How long do we have? Lucy asked. Less than a day. Now, Zara replied. They needed a new plan. The men would be watching the forest, the river, the mountain. They needed somewhere open but hidden somewhere. The ship could land without being seen. I know a place, Mary said. There is a meadow high on the north side of the mountain. It is surrounded by trees. The locals avoid it because of old stories about lights in the sky. Zara looked at her with interest. What kind of lights? Flying lights, Mary said. My grandfather claimed he saw a flying saucer there when he was young. Most people thought he was crazy. Zara smiled. It was probably one of our research vessels, she said. They have been visiting Earth for centuries. Lucy looked at her friends. This might work, she said. But we need to time it perfectly. We cannot reach the meadow too early or the men will catch us. We must arrive just before the ship. They spent the night in the cave resting, gathering strength. Zara taught them more about her people, about the galactic community that Earth did not yet know existed. Lucy and Mary shared stories of their lives, their dreams, their world. In the morning they prepared to leave. Mary wrapped her ankle tightly with strips torn from her shirt. Lucy packed the remaining food and water. Zara carefully folded her communication device, the light still pulsing. The journey through the caves was slow. Mary knew some of the paths but had to guess at others. Sometimes they had to crawl through narrow tunnels or wade through underground streams. Finally, they saw light ahead. A small opening led to the forest outside. 1 year passed since the night in the meadow. Lucy returned to her small house at the edge of Riverdale. For weeks after Zara's departure, government agents had questioned her and Mary. They told a simple story about getting lost hiking in the mountains. The agents seemed suspicious but had no evidence of anything else. The strange events were labeled a military exercise, and gradually people forgot. Life returned to normal. Lucy worked at the diner. Mary moved to a nearby city for college. They spoke, often sharing the secret they could tell no one else. The memory crystals Zara had given them remained hidden, safe treasures from another world. Sometimes at night, Lucy would hold hers, feeling its warmth, wondering if Zara was looking at the same. Star Spring came again. The forest around Lucy's house turned green. The old dump site was cleaned up by the government. Though Lucy suspected they were looking for alien technology, not helping the environment, she didn't mind. The air smelled better. Lucy
had changed since meeting Zara. She saved her money, took online classes, studied astronomy and physics books about space filled her shelves. She applied to college and was accepted for the fall term. She planned to study science to learn more about
the universe that Zara had shown her was full of life. One warm evening, Lucy sat on her porch watching the sunset. The crystal in her pocket seemed warmer than usual. She took it out and held it in her palm. It glowed with a soft blue light. It had never done that before. Lucy stared at the crystal. It pulsed like a heartbeat. She closed her fingers around it and closed her eyes. Suddenly, images flashed through her mind. A silver ship stars rushing past a blue world with 3 moons buildings, tall and graceful, made of crystal and light. Blue-skinned people moving in harmony. And at the center of it all, Zara. Lucy gasped. She was seeing Valoria, Zara's homeworld. The crystal was working, just as Zara had said it would. Lucy sat very still, afraid to break the connection. She felt Zara's emotions, joy at being home, sadness for friends left behind, hope for the future. Then the images changed. Lucy saw a council chamber, Valorians seated in a circle, Zara standing before them, speaking passionately. Lucy could not understand the words, but she felt the meaning Zara was telling them about Earth, about humans, about Lucy and Mary. She was arguing, pleading. Lucy felt tears on her cheeks, though whether they were her own or Zara's, she could not tell. Connection faded. The crystal dimmed, returning to its normal state. Lucy sat in the darkness of her porch, her mind filled with visions of another world. She knew now that Zara had not forgotten that she was fighting for Earth, for humans, for a connection between their worlds. The next morning, Lucy called Mary. I saw it. She said excitedly. I saw her world through the crystal. Mary had experienced the same vision. They talked for hours, comparing what they had seen, trying to understand what it meant. Was Zara in trouble? Was she asking for help, or was she simply sharing her memories as promised? Days passed. Lucy watched the sky each night, hoping for a sign. The crystal remained quiet. She returned to her studies, to her plans for college. But something had changed. She felt a new purpose, a direction. She wanted to be ready if the Valori ever returned. Summer arrived, hot and humid. Lucy gave notice at the diner. She would leave for college in 6 weeks. She packed her few belongings, sold what she did not need. The small house would be rented to someone else. The chapter of her life in Riverdale was ending. On her last night in the house, Lucy could not sleep. She walked outside under the stars. The air was heavy with the scent of flowers. The forest was alive with sounds of night creatures. She held the crystal in her hand, remembering Zara, remembering the ship, the meadow, the chase through the mountains. It seemed like a dream. Now a story she had read rather than lived. A blue light flashed in. The sky. Lucy looked up thinking it was lightning. But the sky was clear stars shining brightly. The light flashed again, moving in a pattern too regular for any natural phenomenon. Lucy's heart raced. She ran inside and called Mary. "Did you see it?" she asked. The light in the sky. Mary had seen it from her apartment in the city. They agreed to meet at the meadow where Zara's ship had landed a year ago. Lucy grabbed a backpack, throwing in water, food, a flashlight, and the crystal. She drove her old truck up the mountain roads, remembering the chase, the fear, the wonder. The meadow looked the same. Wildflowers swayed in the night breeze, insects chirped in the grass. No sign remained of the ship that had landed there. Lucy waited at the edge of the trees until Mary arrived. They embraced, both excited, both nervous. "Do you think she has come back?" Mary asked. Lucy did not answer. She took out her crystal. Mary did the same. They stood side by side, holding the crystals in their open palms. The crystals glowed, blue then green, matching the pattern of the lights they had seen in the sky. The air in the center of the meadow rippled, bent light twisting around an invisible shape. Grass flattened in a perfect circle. Something was there. Something unseen. Lucy and Mary stepped forward together. The crystals in their hands pulsed brighter. A ship appeared, silver and smooth, just like Zara's rescue ship, but smaller. A door slid open silently. Light spilled out, golden and warm. A figure stood in the doorway, tall and slender with blue skin that seemed to glow in the darkness. Zara stepped onto the grass. Her face broke into a smile, a human expression she had learned during her time on Earth. "I have returned," she said. Her voice was just as Lucy remembered, soft and musical. "I have come to take you home." Lucy and Mary stared in shock. "Home?" Mary asked. Where Zara gestured to the stars. "My people have decided. It is time. For too long we have watched Earth from afar. For too long we have kept ourselves separate. The Council has agreed to open diplomatic relations with Earth. But we need ambassadors, humans who understand us, who can help bridge our worlds." Lucy could hardly believe what she was hearing. "Are you saying?" "I am offering you both a place on Valoria," Zara said. "To study, to learn, to help us understand your world as you learn about ours. You would be the first humans to visit another planet. You would help prepare the way for others." Mary looked at the ship, then at Lucy. "This is what we dreamed of," she whispered. "But what about our lives here?" "Our plans," Zara smiled. "I understand your hesitation," she said. "It is a big decision to leave your world. But I promise you can return if you wish. This is not forever unless you want it to be." Lucy thought about her small house, her job at the diner, her plans for college. They seemed small now compared to what Zara offered. A chance to see the stars up close, to walk on another world, to be part of something larger than herself. "How long would we stay?" Lucy asked. "A year, perhaps 2. Zara replied, "Time enough to learn our ways, for us to learn yours. Then you would return to help prepare Earth for official contact." A sound in the distance caught their attention. Helicopter blades. The government was still watching, still searching. They had little time to decide. "I must know now," Zara said. "The Council was divided on this decision. If you refuse, we may not have another chance for many years." Lucy looked at Mary. They had shared so much, had faced danger, together had kept a secret that had changed them both. Mary nodded slightly in answer to the unspoken question, "We will come." Lucy said. Zara embraced them both. "I knew you would," she said. "You showed me the best of humanity. Now you can show my people." They boarded the ship quickly. The door closed behind them, sealing with a soft hiss. The interior was larger than it appeared from outside. Smooth walls curved into a ceiling that seemed to glow with its own light. Seats formed from the same material, adjusted to their human bodies. "Take these," Zara said, handing them each a small silver device. "They will help you understand our language." The ship hummed beneath them. A screen appeared showing the meadow below. As Lucy watched the trees, the mountains, the world she had known began to shrink. The ship rose silently into the night sky. The helicopter appeared at the edge of the meadow too late. The ship accelerated. The blue of Earth's atmosphere darkened to the black of space. Stars shone with a clarity Lucy had never seen before. "How fast are we going?" Mary asked, her voice filled with wonder. Zara checked symbols that floated in the air before her. "We will reach our orbital station in minutes," she said. "From there, a larger ship will take us to Valoria. The journey will take 14 of your Earth days." Lucy pressed her face to the screen. Earth was visible now, a blue sphere wrapped in white clouds. It looked both fragile and precious. She felt a moment of doubt. Had they made the right choice? But then she remembered the visions in the crystal, the beauty of Valoria, the promise of new knowledge, new understanding. She looked at Mary, who smiled back. They were in this together. Zara showed them around the small ship, explaining the technology as best she could in terms they might understand. It was not magic, she insisted, just science developed over thousands of years longer than human civilization had existed. The ship docked with a larger vessel orbiting Earth far beyond the reach of human telescopes. This ship was vast, with corridors that stretched for what seemed like miles. Other Valorians moved about their tasks. They nodded respectfully to the humans, but kept their distance. They seemed both curious and cautious. "You are the first humans most of them have seen," Zara explained. "They have studied your kind from afar, but never met you face to face. They will become more comfortable with time." Lucy and Mary were given quarters adjacent to Zara's, a room that adjusted to their needs, providing the temperature, light, and comfort they preferred. Food appeared that looked and tasted like Earth food, though Zara explained it was created from different materials.